Ma'am, you can start.
Okay. Thank you, Majid. Good morning. Namaskar to all guests, participants, member of the different committees of 21 days training program. On behalf of ICAR, Sugarcane Breeding Institute Coimbatore and National Agriculture Development Cooperative Limited, I welcome you all to the inaugural session of 21 days training program, Advanced National Training Program, in short ANTP 2020, on recent scientific interventions and practices of sugarcane breeding, production, protection, and utilization for doubling the farmer's income starting from December 1st to December 21, 2020, and organized by ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, and National Agriculture Development Cooperative Limited, Baramulla. Today we have with us as a chief guest, we have Dr. T.R. Sharma, Deputy Director General, Crop Sciences, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, ICAR, New Delhi. And our guest of honor is Dr. Bakshi Ram, Director, ICAR, Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. And Professor Dr. M.P. Thakur, Director of Instructions and Controller of Examination, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Sir, I would like to tell you that this is our fourth training program of NADCL organized on virtual platform in this pandemic. First was with Agro Environmental Society, Rampur, in collaboration with that society. Second was Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute, Regional Research Institute, Srinagar, ICAR Institute, and third was Rajmata Vijayaraje Sindhia Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Gwalior. And this is the fourth one, ICAR in collaboration with ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. And this is our second training program with the ICAR Institute. I will not go in details of the training program as Dr. G. Hema Prabha Madam, Principal Scientist and Head in charge, Crop Improvement Division, will throw light on the training program's detail. I just want to quote in short that we have got very strong team of NADCL and Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, for smooth functioning of this in ANTP 2020. As you all must have gone with our training brochure. But I would like to take the name of our training coordinator, Dr. R. Shah, who was continuously working behind the curtain to coordinate between these two agencies. I call Dr. G. Hem Prabha Madam to give an introductory address. And it is over to you, Madam.
Good morning. Honorable Deputy Director General, Crop Sciences of ICAR, the chief guest of this inaugural function, as well as the chief patron of the training program. Respected Director, ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, is the patron of this training program. And the guest of honor, Dr. M.P. Thakur, Director Instructions and Controller of Examinations, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vidyalaya, Raipur, Dr. Ratna Nashine, Professor and Dean, College of Agriculture, Dr. R.A. Shah of NADCL, all members of the Coordination Committee, Publication Committee, and Dr. Jahena Habib Khan, the Professor of SQUAST, Kashmir, convener of this training program, training coordinators, and all resource persons, my colleagues from different organizations, and most importantly, the participants from all over the country who have registered for this training program. Very good morning to all of you. On behalf of ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, I warm-heartedly welcome all of you to this inaugural function of the 21 days training program commencing from today on the recent scientific interventions and practices of sugarcane breeding, production, and utilization for doubling the income of the farmers, jointly organized by ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute and National Agriculture Development Cooperative Limited, Baramulla, Jammu and Kashmir. So, for us, this is the first training program and a distant on an open online mode. And you know, the COVID-19 has given so many restrictions in our lives. it has opened up avenues of learning. And for this training program, there are no restrictions with regard to the number of participants. There are 141 participants registered for this training program so far from 19 states of the country. And there is no restriction with regard to the disciplines and also on the basic qualifications. We have scientists and assistant associate professors, extension workers from KVK, technical staff, PhD scholars, PG students, young professionals, etc., who have registered for this program. Apart from that, the common crop science disciplines of agronomy, plant breeding, pathology, entomology, soil science, etc. We have registered participants from dairy extension, veterinary sciences, forestry, plantation crops like coffee, auto management, etc. So this is a welcome sign. As you know, sugarcane is no longer a sweet crop, just grown for sugar and jaggery. The number of Fs from sugarcane are increasing day by day. That is, it is grown mainly from to meet the fuel requirement of the apart from food. The sweetener, it is the main fuel requirement of the country to meet the bioethanol production, for the bioethanol production, to run our vehicles. That's a good fuel source. Then for fiber, fodder, feed, fertilizers, in addition to electricity, paper production, and very value-added molecules and other products from sugarcane. So it's a wise decision to join this training program. As you know, SBI Sugarcane Breeding Institute is well known for its varieties, and also it is well known for the quality training program it gives, whether it is a 21 days training program or a extension training program offered to farmers or to extension or to sugar factory personnel. So this training program also offers assures you a excellent learning process. We have resource persons from mainly from ICR Sugarcane Breeding Institute. We have experts from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore, Atari, Bangalore, ICR, IGFR, Jhansi, ICR, DRMR, Bharatpur, Vasantdada Sugar Institute, Pune, SQUEST, Kashmir, Veterinary College, Bidar, and Baba Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. So definitely the scientists are the main participants. It is essential to learn from this training program to reorient the research work for developing a product or a process or a technology to pay for doubling of farmers' income. For sugar factory personnel, this gives an opportunity to plan a wise varietal scheduling, to adopt modern crop production technologies for doubling, for maximizing production, for startups, for value-added products and novel compounds and molecules from sugarcane, and also sugarcane as a biofactory for producing pharmaceuticals and vaccines, for self-help group, for juice processing, to digestive biscuit, to mushroom farming, etc. And for unemployed youth also, this gives opportunity to learn about custom hiring of implements, all for mechanized sugarcane cultivation. So extension many extension personnel from KVKs have joined. They have a very huge task of taking these technologies to the users like the self-help group and others, so that it will be a collective farming and sugarcane cultivation becomes more mechanized and more profitable. So and also there are many students attending. It's a great learning process. And even for the resource persons, this gives a wonderful opportunity to interact with a heterogeneous group of participants. And also this can help to build in partnership and also for linkages. It is our honor to have our none other than our Dr. T.R. Sharma, our DDG, Crop Sciences, for his inaugural program, with his wisdom and his positive attitude, which we have always felt, whether it is a varietal release through ICRIP or any technology development for the sake of farmers. He was very positive, and we hope for his for his motivation and to shower his blessings on all of us, and all the participants. And after this inaugural function, immediately it will be followed by the lecture of our director, Dr. Bakshiram. You know, he has immensely contributed to sugarcane agriculture, and he has demonstrated, or he was instrumental in changing the lifestyles of several lakhs of farmers in North subtropical India through the new varieties, and through which has made a platform for introducing new crop production technologies. And there are other dignitaries also waiting who would kindle a spark in you in this inaugural function. So as course director from SBI, I, along with my two course coordinators from here, Dr. Murli and Dr. Mohanraj, we assure you all cooperation and support all through the training programs and for lively interactions during each session, and also for the good cooperation and the leadership extended by the NADCL Baramulla. I thank everyone for this opportunity, and Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam, for briefing about the training program. Thank you very much. Now I call upon Dr. Bakshiram, Director, our guest of honor also for this program, for his valuable words. But before that, I will give his brief introduction. Dr. Bakshiram, he has completed his PhD from Chaudhry Charan Singh Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar, and he has got a very bright professional career. He has holded the various posts, and he now at present he is a director, ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute from 2014. About his scholarships and fellowships awards, he has got 44 awards in his credit, and to mention eminent agriculture scientist award, the Ganna Ratna from NISTA 2019, Lifetime Achievement Award, National Federation of Cooperative Sugar Factories, New Delhi on March 15, 2019, Haryana Vigyan Ratna Award 2018, Government of Haryana on February 2019, Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award 2018, ICR on July 16, 2019, Agriculture Scientist for Outstanding Contribution Award in 2020, Outlook Publishing India Private Limited, New Delhi. And he is having the fellowships and member of professional societies, that is now in number 6, and he has got a long list of publications, research articles, books chapters, research articles presented in seminar and symposium, popular articles, pamphlets, database, books, manual. Total is 401 in his credit. He is a reviewer for 13 international national journals, and he has released 24 varieties, one variety of wheat, and rest is of sugarcane. Then he has got in his credit genetic stock registered, that is 4 in number, and area covered by the varieties evolved during 2020 to 21 is 3.02 million hectare, which is 89.9% of the total sugarcane area in subtropical India and 56.5% of the total sugarcane area in the country. And area covered by CO 0238 during 2020 to 21 is 2.83 million hectare, which is 84.1% of the total sugarcane area in subtropical India and 54.1% of the total sugarcane area in the country. So we have got a great personality with us who is also known as the cane man. So sir, it is over to you, and we want to listen your valuable words, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ratna, for the introduction. First of all, I welcome Honorable DDGCS, Dr. T.R. Sharma, who has spared his valuable time to join us. Only with one email, he has agreed to be the chief guest of today's inaugural session. I welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. M.P. Thakur, Director, Inspections and Control of Examination, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, and delegates from 19 states to this training program. I thank to NADCL for choosing ICR SBI as organizer for this training program on recent scientific interventions and practices of sugarcane breeding, production and protection and utilization for doubling farmers' income. I request all the people to mute yourself. Madam Ratna, you mute yourself.
Please continue, sir.
We are organizing these training programs. The different training programs are being organized to refresh the available knowledge of the scientists, particularly the young scientists, and to enhance their knowledge on research advancements and for this training. And the means of now we are organizing this virtual mode. That is the new normal nowadays, caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. But this new normal is having many advantages, as you need not to be away for 21 days from your place of work or from the family. A large number of training can participate. That is for particularly for this training program. 141 candidates has joined this training program. And for training also, now it is having almost 2 lectures. I think 2 lectures per day. So training hours are also less. So delegates can concentrate on both for training as well as in spare time they can attend their official duties also. And there may be some disadvantages also for this training program, such type of training program on virtual mode. Sometimes we may face the problem of connectivity, internet connectivity. So kindly bear with us, and some may not be sincere and may be disturbed by their bosses if they are attending from their workplace. So I request that all the people should be sincere in attending during this training program and take maximum advantage from this, and that will sincerely refresh your knowledge and add to your existing knowledge about the recent advancement in research and development on sugarcane. Then this training program is well conceptualized, and many experts from outside the institute have been invited to deliver lectures during training program. Coming to the institute, most of the people may be knowing that this is one of the oldest ICR institute, established in 1912, and our main mandate is to evolve sugarcane varieties throughout the country. And this journey was started with the release of first variety CO205 in 1918, and so far means varieties released from institute are known as co-clones or co-canes, and so far we have evolved 3,205 co-clones from this institute. Out of those, more than 200 have been commercially exploited. So our varieties developed by the institute has not only contributed in the country, but in 28 other countries also. Our varieties have been grown at commercial stage, or they have been utilized as parents in their breeding program. This institute is known as Mecca of Sugarcane Research. And even now some of the countries, particularly African countries, our very old varieties are in cultivation. So as on current year, if we see the sugarcane area, 78% of the total sugarcane area in the country is covered by the varieties evolved at this institute exclusively. And 2 major varieties are CO0238, which is having 54% of the total area, particularly in the subtropical region, and CO86032 with 17% of the total area in the sugarcane in the country, in the tropical part. So these 2 varieties contribute 71% of the total area. And during last 6 years, we can say that our area under our varieties have been more than double. That is from 32%, almost 32% to 78%. So that itself speaks about the contribution of any research organization. I will not speak much on sugarcane scenario because immediately after inaugural session, my lecturer is there. There I will be discussing about the current sugarcane scenario, sugarcane and sugarcane scenario in the world. I wish the organizers a grand success in this training program. And once again, I thank Honorable DDG for sparing his valuable time. Thank you very much.
Madam, unmute, please.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable
Please
words.
unmute yourself.
And now I call
Please
upon
unmute.
Dr. MP Thakur, our
Please speak up.
Dr. MP Thakur, sir, who is the guest of honor. And before this, I will go for his introduction, brief introduction. Dr. MP Thakur, presently working as a Director Instructions and Controller of Examination in Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. He is graduated and postgraduated in plant pathology in agriculture with honors and doctorate from Jawaharlal Nehru Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur. Served as Director Extension Services, Professor, Founder, Dean of SK Cars Kavardha and SK Cars Rajnandgaon, Professor and Head Plant Pathology and serving as a Director Instruction Controller of Examination. Elected as a National President of Indian Phytopathological Society, New Delhi, and successfully organized 7th International Conference at ICAR IARI, New Delhi from 16th to 20th January 2020. He is a visiting fellow of Shanghai Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Shanghai, China. Visiting fellow of ICRISAT at Pattancheru, Andhra Pradesh. He is also a member of RAC of ICAR Directorate of Mushroom Research, Solan, from 2013 to 2016. He is a member of Institute Management Committee, National Institute for Biotic Stress Management, Baronda, Raipur, nominated by Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India from 2020 to 2023. He is a recipient of Dr. K.C. Mehta and Manoranjan Mitra Award 2019 of IPS and Professor P.R. Verma Memorial Lecture Award 2018 ISMP in 2018. He is a three-time Lifetime Achievement Awards won during 3rd International Conference at Management Development Institute of Singapore, All India Above the Beyond Award 2018, Birja Gopal Sharma Memorial Award, All India Best Agriculture Extension Worker Award in 2016 by Sadhna Solan HP, and Best Worker Award by Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur in 2001. As a sectional editor and member editorial board of Indian Phytopath, chief in editor of Journal of Agricultural Issues. He published 8 books, edited 8 books, annual reports, 14 books chapters, 122 research papers, articles, 5 review articles, 51 bulletins, 81 popular articles, guided 38 PG and PhD students, presented 115 research papers as a keynote speaker, guest lecturer in national and international seminar. He is an honorary fellow of Indian Mycological Society, Kolkata in 2020, fellow of Indian Society of Mycology and Plant Pathology, Udaipur, fellow of Indian Society of Pulse Research and Development, Kanpur. Sir, with this brief introduction, I hand over to you this mic. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Ratna. Thank you very much. Chief guest of the inaugural function, Honorable Deputy Director General, Crop Science, Dr. T.R. Sharma Sahab, who is a very well known plant pathologist, biotechnologist, and microbiologist. I think after Dr. D.N. Srivastava, a long time ago, I could see Dr. T.R. Sharma as the Deputy Director General of Crop Science. He has occupied this prestigious position, I think, after a long time. Sir, we all feel proud of you as a pathologist. Sir, during the inaugural function of the 4th Advanced National Training Program being organized jointly by NADCL Baramulla and ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute Coimbatore, I would like to extend my deep appreciation to NADCL Baramulla for continuously organizing this 4th event online in the series and benefiting the students, the PhD scholars, scientists, extension worker during COVID-19 period when there was no physical contact among us, and even during post-COVID-19 period. Sir, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to Dr. Bakshiram, who is the cane man of India and who is the director of this very old ICR institute, that is breeding institute, Sugarcane Breeding Institute, which is one of the oldest institute, I think, in the ICR system. And I think this institute has developed so many varieties, as he was telling, and even Dr. Him Prabha Madam was also telling that this institute has developed so many varieties. And I think out of 101 ICR national institutes working on varieties of crops, I think this is the only institute in the country covering more than 80% of the area of its own variety. If I am not wrong, I think Dr. Bakshi can correct me, but so far as my knowledge goes, sir, I don't know any of the institute. Say, for example, in Chhattisgarh, we are working in rice. We have been known in rice for the last so many years, but you will wonder to know that our area under our varieties are hardly 20%. Sir, hats up to you for developing so nice varieties and helping the farming community in the country. Hats up to the director and his team. Sugarcane and sugar, I think both these play a very important or significant role in the economy of India, trade and livelihood. India is the largest consumer of sugar in the world, and perhaps one of the region of India being the world's largest diabetic country. I do not know whether I am right or wrong, but I think India is the largest consumer in the world, and probably that may be one of the reason why India has become the diabetic country in the world. And India is also the second largest producer of sugar in the world, next to Brazil only. So I think it is the sugar industry is almost the most important agro-based industry in the country, and that impact livelihood of about 5 crore people in the country. And you will wonder to know that 5 lakhs workers are directly benefiting, they are directly working in the sugar mills which are located in different parts of the country. There are about 700 installed sugar factories in the country with crushing capacity of about 340 metric ton of sugar and annual turnover of about 80,000 crore. I think these numbers reflect the important role being played by sugar cane and sugar industry in the country. The role the sugar industry plays in India's economy. However, the sugar prices, which is following, sometime it goes down, sometime it goes up, and it is causing, or it is I think it is hurtling a lot to the government of India. It is posing a severe problem. A need, I think, there was felt by the Niti Aayog even to explore the long-term solutions for the sugar cane and the sugar industry so as to rationalize their dependence on state assistance and encourage the farm diversification to reduce the adverse effect of sugarcane cultivation and water sector, which is very, very important nowadays. Sir, sugarcane is a renewable natural agricultural resource because it provides sugars. And besides sugar, it also provides us biofuel, fiber, fertilizer, and it is mainly an industrial crop supplied to the sugar industries where the various products from its juice are prepared by using a series of industry. The bioproducts from sugarcane industry, it requires some form of industry, and only a fraction of its production is used in the small scale industry for making local khansari, or which we call it as gur. And sugarcane products like sugar and fermented products, they are very, very important in making and preserving various kinds of medicines like syrup, capsules, liquids, and whatnot. Sir, sugarcane provides a juice which is used for making white sugar and jaggery and many other products like bagasse and molasses. Bagasse is used as a fuel for production of fiber, board, papers, plastic, and so many things. And similarly, molasses is also used in distilleries for the manufacture of ethyl alcohol. Similarly, the rum is best. Rum is the best potable spirit made from the made from the molasses. And I think sugarcane juice, it is very important. It is diuretic. It helps to treat urinary tract infections, kidneys, stones, and ensure proper functioning of the kidney also. Even it is very important in the jaundice also, which is a very important overall disease. And Indian sugarcane acreage during 2021, sugar season is estimated to be about 52 lakh tons to 52 lakh hectare, and it has registered the 8% growth as compared to the last year, which was about 48.41 lakh hectares recorded in the year 2019-20. And I think this could have been possible only due to the introduction of higher yielding varieties developed by ICAR sugarcane breeding in some of the key production states, which has taken production in those regions to the fresh heights. The government has fixed sugarcane price to support farmers' revenues, and the correct price is well above that of the alternative crops. I think the threat posed by growing pandemic novel coronavirus is impacting sugarcane industry, its stakeholders, and other integrated industries, not only in India, but I think throughout the world. And the entire value chain of the sugar industry, Indian sugar industry, whether we talk of sugarcane, we talk of sugar, we talk of molasses, we talk of ethanol, and their subsequent marketing and export has been adversely affected from the spillover of impact. And to address some of these issues, research priorities and future thrusts should be to develop and promote mechanization in cultivation, mechanization in planting. And I think Bakshi Sahab will agree with me. We have to promote interculture. We have to promote harvesting, multiple rattoning, development of specific agronomical practices for promising sugarcane genotypes suitable for different agroclimatic conditions of the country, management of sugarcane diseases, insect pests, and adoption of healthy seed production program. And sugarcane, the strategies have to be developed for uses of less seeds, less water, and optimum utilization of fertilizer. I was talking with Dr. Bakshi that how to minimize the use of water by production of sugarcane. Then similarly, the land and the organics and the biofertilizers and the space transplanting method. I think with wider spacing, we have to promote this so that by raising the plantlets, we have to promote this particular method so that we can enhance the production of the sugarcane in the country. And recent technologies, they have revolutionized agriculture and environment, and also hold the promise for developing sustainable agriculture, reducing environmental pollution, and generation of sustainable biofuels with far-reaching benefits for the society at large. Sugarcane is known to be water guzzling crop, and an average you see where the paddy takes about 5,000 liters of water. Similarly, sugarcane also takes about 1,500 to 2,000 kg of water. And I think in the area like Maharashtra and many other parts of the country where the underground water has gone down to the greater extent, I think we have to see and we have to ensure that how sugarcane crop with drip irrigation can be taken up. And I was talking to Dr. Bakshi Ram that why not it is possible. I think government of India has to make it mandatory that sugarcane crops should not be allowed to grow without drip irrigation. I think this could be the outcome from this 21 days training program where the Deputy Director General Crop Science has joined, and I think he will carry this message to the Ministry of Agriculture so that this problem can be solved. Sir, pressure on water due to sugarcane cultivation in states like Maharashtra has become a serious concern, calling for more efficient and sustainable water use through alternative cropping pattern. And this is especially important in regions where groundwater use has reached to a critical and overexploited stage, or where more than 50% surface water is used for irrigating sugarcane alone. And I think this is the need of the hour is to focus on pricing of sugarcane, diversification towards less water intensive crop, sugar and sugarcane development fund, ethanol blending program, trade policy, raising the MSP of sugar to at least minimum of 33 rupees a kg, expansion of drip irrigation, sugarcane cultivation, eliminate buffer stock of sugar, recycling bagasse, promotion of jaggery, financial assistance to distressed sugar mills, long-term pricing formula for ethanol, complete restructuring of the industry so that sugarcane cultivation may be promoted in India in a sustainable manner. At the end, I would like to again congratulate both the institute like NADCL Baramulla and ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, who has joined hand in organizing this great event and giving me an opportunity to be a part of this particular training program in the inaugural function of this training program. Thank you so much. Thanks to Baksiram Sahab, Madam Hemprabhaji, Principal Scientist, and head the crop improvement program, Dr. Ratna Nasine, who is the organizing director, all the staff of the NADSL, Baramulla, and all the staff of ICAR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. Thank you once again, sir. Now, let us have the pleasure of listening to the remarks of Honorable Deputy Director, ICAR, Dr. T.R. Sharma, sir. And before inviting him, I would like to give his brief introduction. Dr. Tilakraj Sharma, sir, obtained PhD from Himachal Pradesh Agriculture University, Palampur in 1990. He completed his first doctorate from University of Alberta, Canada in 1996 and worked on molecular biology of plant and plant pathogens. Subsequently, he did 2 more postdoctorate trainings in 2001 and 2004 on rice genome sequencing and genome sequence finishing and genome analysis from the Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, New York, USA. He worked as an assistant professor at Biotechnology Center on HPKV Palampur with effect from 1991, joined as a senior scientist biotechnology in June 1990 at National Research Center on Plant Biotechnology, NRCPB, and became principal scientist biotechnology in 2007. He is in charge of Geoinformatics Center of NRCPB with effect from 2002 till date. He also holds 6 Indian patents for the process and processes he has developed. He has got a bright academic and research career. Dr. T.R. Sharma has contributed extensively to the improvement of rice for over 16 years. His most significant contributions include mapping, cloning, and functional validation of rice blast resistance gene, PIKH, from a unique source which activates complex defense mechanism as demonstrated by microarray analysis. Dr. Sharma has also developed robust DNA makers tightly linked to PIKH, which are being used extensively in India and at IRRI to improve rice varieties. Besides, Dr. Sharma has characterized genetic variability in different plant pathogens like Alternaria brassica, Brassica cola, or Raphani are collected from geographically diverse regions of the world using molecular markers for the first time. He has also developed new protocols for in vitro multiplication of disease-free seedlings, microrhizomes, and synthetic seeds of ginger. He has authored more than 95 research papers and mentored about 20 PhD, MSc, and postdoctorate students. He has got awards and honors received in different fields. Dr. Sharma received University Gold Medal and Certificate of Honor in PhD in 1990, Young Scientist Award from NAS 1998, ICAR Young Scientist Award, Crop Sciences in 1990, Professor M.J. Narasimhan Academic Merit Award, Special Prize jointly with Student IPS 1999, Professor Umakant Sinha Memorial Award in Biotechnology, Biophysics and Biotechnology, Indian Science Congress Association in 2001, International World Technology Award for Biotechnology jointly to RISE Genome Sequencing Team, the World Technology Network 2003 DBT National Bioscience Award for Career Development 2007, NAS Recognition Award in 2008, Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award ICR in 2011. He is the chief editor of Journal of Plant Biochemistry and Biotechnology, Springer, since 1999 till date. So, sir, so it is our proud privilege to have such a great personality with us for as a chief guest and of this training program. So, sir, it is over to you.
Good afternoon to all. Thank you, madam, for the introduction. Dr. Vaksiram, Director of SBI Coimbatore, Dr. M.P. Thakur, Director Instructions, Indira Gandhi Agriculture University, Raipur, distinguished colleagues, organizers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Vaksiram and also National Agriculture Development Corporation Limited, Baramulla, for giving me this opportunity to be here this afternoon. I'm sorry that because of some other program in the morning, the program was delayed for half an hour, but that was also adjacent to Dr. Vaksiram's institute at Wellington. And being my own institute of my own division, I was supposed to attend that and inaugurate that conference. So thank you very much, Dr. Vaksiram, for inviting me to inaugurate this 21 days training program and share some of my thoughts on such training programs. Many of you might be knowing that I myself organized many such training programs while working at NRCPV New Delhi, IRI New Delhi, till 2017, when I left ICAR and joined DBT Institute at Mohali, Chandigarh. So I know the significance of these programs. These are very, very important skill development program for which from SBI, Dr. Vaksiram and his team and a team of scientists at National Agriculture Development Corporation, Baramulla, has taken a lead to organize a very specialized program on sugarcane, particularly recent scientific interventions and practices of sugarcane breeding, production and utilization for doubling the farmer's income. When I was approached by Dr. Vaksiram, I immediately asked a question: how come Srinagar is coming into the picture for sugarcane breeding and sugarcane growing? Then he told me that there is large area under sugarcane cultivation in Jammu region, and this organization is particularly involved in skill development in different areas of agriculture, in the country, which is very, very important contribution of NADC Baramulla. As far as sugarcane is concerned, a lot of things have already been told by Dr. Baksiram and also Dr. MP Thakur. The contribution of institute, which is one of the most important institute of my division at the council, crop science division of ICAR. You know that it is 108 years old institute and older than ICAR. ICAR is yet to complete 100 years of its establishment, but the institute was in operation from 1912 onwards. The institution is basically involved in creating sugar revolution in the country. As told by our previous speaker, Dr. Thakur and Dr. Baksiram, we are the largest sugar producer in the country and growing sugarcane in more than 51 lakh hectare of land with average yield of 73.84 tons per hectare and average sugar productivity recovery is 10.7 to 11%, which is very high. And we also know that in sugarcane we take 1 or 2 ratoon crops, and that's where this crop is becoming very, very important. But as rightly pointed out by Dr. Thakur, it's a water guzzling crop, and we have to think very seriously how we can improve this particular crop for growing under rain-fed conditions or under drought-tolerant conditions. Even if we are able to produce 2 or 3 irrigations per season for this crop, it will become a really very remunerative as far as water saving is concerned. Let me tell you, we have 2 institutes working on exclusively on sugarcane. One is at Coimbatore Sugarcane Breeding Institute, and other is Indian Institute of Sugarcane Research at Lucknow. Besides that, we have many organizations, particularly Basant Dada Sugarcane Research Institute is a very famous institute in Maharashtra. And also in UP, we have Shahjahanpur, a very important institute working on sugarcane. So the contribution of any organization is told or judged because of the varieties which they have developed. And I am happy to share that the institute has developed its first variety CO205 more than 112 years back in 1918. So institute has a history of 100 years. Naturally, then we have a lot of expectations from the institutes and the scientists working at this institute. And if I would like to say here and congratulate Dr. Baksiram and his team that not only he and his team has met the expectations of official at ICAR, but has made country proud because of one of the most important varieties which was released by him, CO20238, which occupies more than 74% area of sugarcane in the country. The participants and the breeders and all biologists were sitting here. They are aware that sugarcane is not an easy crop to be bred. I got a chance to visit SBI Coimbatore around 4 or 5 years back when I was not DDG Crop Sciences. I came from my other institute, DVT Institute, to Coimbatore for some other meeting, and then I got a chance to see, because I had a curiosity to see this 100-year-old institute, how sugarcane is bred there. And I was amazed to see the type of breeding infrastructure which we have at SBI Coimbatore. And I'm told that all sugarcane breeders throughout the country, even from other countries, they also visit during the season to make crosses, attempt crosses, do hybridization. And those who are not from sugarcane breeding, they should be aware that their day starts at 4 a.m. in the morning. That's what I am told. To do emasculation and then collect pollen and then do hybridization. It's a very difficult job. Dealing a crop which is longer than or taller than a man or a woman. And I used to ask Dr. Hema Prabha during those days also how she manages to attempt crosses. Then I could see that a very specialized structure is made at this institute, permanent structure, wherein one can reach up to the flower of the plant and then attempt hybridization. It's unfortunate that this particular training program is being done virtually because of COVID-19 situation. Otherwise, you all would have got a chance to see how a crop like sugarcane, which is clonally propagated, is bred at SBI Coimbatore with great difficulty. With great difficulty, I would say. Not only that it's a difficult to bred crop, but also has many species. And more so, if you go the genetics of this particular crop, the chromosome number is also not fixed. It has chromosome mosaicism. You might have read all this chromosomal mosaic in your maybe MSc or BSc class. But if you really want to see chromosome mosaic, you see the crop of sugarcane, where in different parts of plant contains different chromosomal number. So, in spite of all those difficulties, the institute has brought sugar revolution in the country. We are not only major sugar producer, but also net exporter of sugar. And now, with recent trends, which we are looking at, is using sugarcane as a industrial crop for ethanol production. I'm happy to share that last month, Dr. Bakshiram organized a institute industry meet, I would say 2 meetings, one at National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, NAS, Delhi, and another during our AICRP workshop. That was really eye-opener for all of us, those who are little bit aware of the sugarcane as a crop. The multi-purpose crop which we have, which we are dealing here, is being dealt during this whole training program. And I would like to emphasize here, it's only the genes which make difference. Therefore, broadening the genetic base of this particular crop is very, very important. And I used to tell all those things during our AICRP meeting when we had during last month, the All India Coordinator Research Program of sugarcane, which we organize every year, and we released, I think, 5 varieties during that program. Congratulations to all the breeders who developed those 5 varieties of sugarcane. It's not a crop like wheat and rice, where you can have multiple generation in a year. It's not a crop like wheat and rice, which is annual in nature, and you harvest grains and then do lot of studies in vitro. But it's a crop where you cannot have flower at all the locations. So you have to physically go to Coimbatore. If you are a breeder, if you are a sincere breeder and real breeder, you have to go to Coimbatore at our institute to attempt crosses. And without hybridization, I would say that one cannot create genetic variability in any crop species. Hybridization is the most efficient method of creating variability in all the crops. And in plant breeding, variation is the main rule. If you don't have variation, you cannot select the best one. So to create variability, one has to make crosses in distantly related species or parental lines, so that during F1 and subsequent generations, you can get transgressive segregant, which should become as a variety. If you are thinking of using molecular biology approaches, particularly DNA markers and mapping of genes, then maintain all the F1s, which will act as a mapping population in sugarcane. Therefore, looking at the heterozygosity which we have in sugarcane, the stability of variety is very nicely maintained because of its propagation, nature of propagation. It is multiplied through clonal propagation. So once the heterozygosity or homozygosity is fixed, it's fixed for permanently that is fixed, and you can multiply, go on multiplying that particular variety through clonal propagation. Now we have very well defined tissue culture method of producing seed material, or which is genetically uniform seed material free from diseases. So one has to popularize those techniques also. As I cautioned during our AICRP workshop and meeting, that it's not always advisable to have large area under one cultivar because of genetic vulnerability of that particular variety, and it may create vertifolia effect. And if some race of red rot sugarcane appears, virulent race of sugarcane appears on that genetically uniform varieties, the whole crop will wipe out. So that's why I am told by Dr. Baksiram that they are introducing other varieties in addition to CO0238, which occupies 74% of the area in the country, so that in case, and which is now some news are coming, because this variety is becoming susceptible to red rot of sugarcane. So in case highly virulent strain of red rot appears in that location, we should save some of our crops by creating genetic barrier, by growing more than one variety in different regions or different pockets of the country. So that's very, very important for a breeder to understand, that it is not always advisable to cover 100% area under one cultivar to avoid genetic vulnerability or vertifolia effect of that particular crop. That's very important area to research upon, where every year we have to come out with new varieties. And you know, our sugar content is 10 to 11%. Even if there is an increase of 2% of sugar recovery in our new varieties, that will create further revolution and glut in the market. 2% is a huge jump in case of sugarcane. We are not expecting 20% or 25%. Even if 2% more sugar recovery is there, that would be a great thing to be achieved and to be celebrated here. There are many problems in this particular crop, particularly diseases like red rot, smut, wilt, then poka blowing, and pests like stalk borer, internode borer, and top borers, early shoot borer. I don't think we have solution for many of these biotic stresses. White grub is another very important pest, but we know that very important technology has already been developed and being used in sugarcane biocontrol agent by our NBIR institute from Bangalore. They have developed the technology and popularized by SBI Coimbatore and Institute of Sugarcane Research in all these growing areas. But now, since many of these pests and diseases doesn't have sources of resistance within the crop cultivar, we should use intergeneric crosses, or we should resort to latest molecular biology approaches for transferring resistance to these crops from across the species, across the genera. And you know, we have for these shoot borer and top borer, stalk borer, if I'm sure it is from the same family of Helicobacter, then Bt gene would be very, very important. If not, then identify the genes. And I'm sure there might be some lectures on biotechnology applications in sugarcane. And there should be 1 or 2 lectures how transgenics are developed, how we have developed abiotic stress resistant sugarcane at SBI Coimbatore. We are very classical example. The crops are there. One can show at least some pictures of those plants to the participants. And then crop production and protection technologies are to be popularized. And this is a crop where these small intervention of crop production technology, particularly micro irrigation or sprinkler, this what you call drip irrigation, which already talked about, should be a game changer. And mechanization of this whole field operations are very, very important. In this aspect, the Institute of Sugarcane Research is doing a lot of work developing machineries, and I'm sure there might be some lectures from the experts from that institute also during this whole training program. Then final area which I would like to tell here is secondary agriculture and value addition, particularly by making use of sugarcane bagasse for isolating cellulose, or using that bagasse for ethanol production, or using raw sugarcane juice for ethanol production. Technology should be developed for that. I'm told that ethanol is produced from molasses, but why to use molasses? If you can directly develop a technology to directly use sugarcane stem or raw sugarcane juice for developing ethanol, that would be a game changer technology, and that should be taught to our trainees there in this particular training. And latest approaches, particularly genomic selection, which is very, very important here in sugarcane, in which wide parental mapping population is difficult to develop. You can use GWAS, genome-wide association mapping, marker-assisted selection, and then finally genome editing, which is a now recent technique but has created major impact in many crops. as far as development of drought-tolerant wheat is concerned, non-browning mushroom is concerned, or many crops rich in micronutrients and proteins which have been developed by genome editing. So these approaches should be told to the participants here, and I'm sure all these will be covered by all the speakers during the course of deliberation. Although I can see the problem in such online meetings, because you cannot conduct experiment, but you should keep some online demonstration if you can show some of the steps of breeding to the participants through online or through photographs or maybe through small video films. That would be important for the participants, because they cannot physically come to your institute and see. And at the end, I'm sure that you would have developed an evaluation, a training evaluation performer, which has to be circulated to all the participants and then get feedback from the participants. What they should rate, not only the whole training as a whole, but individual trainers. If they don't want to give their name anonymously, you can take that feedback and then try to overcome the weaknesses. You know that all of us are not perfect in many ways. So if somebody is pointing out our weaknesses in teaching, in conveying our messages, in the conduct of training program or conduct of lectures or compilation of lectures or delivery of lectures, that would be very good for us, those who are involved in this whole training, to do corrections in your way of delivery, to do correction in the way you conduct training. And that's why during last day, I am sure, Dr. Baksiram, you should develop an evaluation performer only with tick mark. Don't get more what you call sentences to be written. Only crosses should be made, maybe a sort of objective type of question of 10 questions or 15 questions, and then analyze that. Okay, and give feedback from the trainings, and then try to see where still we have certain limitations which can be overcome during next training. So that's what I was interested to share with all of you, and I wish this whole training, which will go for 21 days, a grand success. I'm told that there will be 2 lectures per day, and that's really very good, and I can see very good speaker in the list. And if you wish, you can invite other speakers from other field also, not only from sugarcane, particularly area like genome editing or GWAS, genomic selection. If nobody is working on these areas in sugarcane, draw those experts from other areas, invite them, because nowadays it is very easy to invite experts in those areas, but they need not to move from their place of working. They can easily spare 1 or 2 hours for such training, such lectures, and that will give an insight into the new advances which is going on in technological development in biology. We must understand that biology is the most dynamic field. So daily you will find one or other changes in biological methods, biological processes, which we are able to identify or understand by using latest molecular biology approaches world over. With these words, I would like to congratulate the organizers, Dr. Baksiram and his team, and also our organizer from NADC, Baramulla, and all the participants sitting here. My best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge about sugarcane with us. Speech was full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge, and your suggestions will be taken into consideration for during the training sessions, sir. Now I invite Dr. P. Murli Senior Scientist, Agriculture Economics from ICR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, for vote of thanks, who is also the course coordinator for this training program.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the inaugural of the 21 days advanced training program conducted by ICR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, and NADSL Baramulla. First and foremost, I thank our Honorable Deputy Director General of ICAR, Dr. T.R. Sharma. Despite his having another meeting amid his busy schedule, Sir has found time to grace this occasion and deliver the special address to the participant. Sir, the scintillating lecture is impetus to participants in the training program. We are grateful to our director, Dr. Bakshiram, for his leadership to organize this 21-day advanced training program. His able guidance has always encouraged us. We thank him for his kindness, interest, and continued support to organize this training program in a fruitful manner. I thank our course director, Dr. G. Hemaprabha, Madam, Head Crop Improvement Division, ICAR SBI Coimbatore, for her meticulous planning of lecture schedules and other logistics to conduct the training program the next 21 days. I also thank Dr. Ratna Naseem, Organizing Director, Dean College of Agriculture and Research Station, Narayanpur, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, for overall planning of the program. I thank special thank to Dr. Professor M.P. Thakur, Director of Instruction and Control of Examination, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, for introductory remarks. I thank Dr. R.A. Shah, Assistant Professor NADCL, Baramulla, for his stewardship, support, vision, and commitment to conduct this training program. I thank all the distinguished invitees present here on accepting our invitation. My heartfelt thanks to heads of various divisions and the faculty for their valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all our efforts. I owe special gratitude to the technical staff of NADSCL Baramulla and ICAR SBI Coimbatore, who are working hard to ensure that this 21 days advanced training program in a successful way. I thank all the resource persons who are evincing interest in preparation and delivering lectures in the training program. I sincerely thank all the participants for keenly interested to participate in this 21 days advanced training program conducted by ICAR SBI. I thank all stakeholders who involved in conducting this 21 days training event in a successful manner. Last but not the least, I thank Dr. K. Monra, Senior Scientist and a course coordinator of ICAR SBI Coimbatore, for his all-round cooperation in organizing this 21-day training program. Thanks to all. Over to organizing committee.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Murli, sir. And now the inauguration session is end, and I request Dr. Majid to tell the participants that we will have the continuation we will have the lecture of Dr. Bakshiram sir, Director, ICR Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore.
Shall we create a separate meeting for that, ma'am? We'll create a separate meeting and we'll start around 1.
Okay, you can, sir, Bakshiram sir.
There would be
sir,
would be requiring lunch and other.
Okay, we will start at 1, then we'll have the continuous again the session of 2nd.
Yeah, we can have that one. Let's confirm with the Bakshiram sir.
No problem. We can have at 1. We can start at 1.
Okay, sir. Okay, I will share the link separately for that session. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Bakshiram, I will take leave now. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Namaskar to all.
This session is over and let's join back at 1, and I'll be sharing a separate link for that session. Please join back at 1. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.